Oh, it's Friday. You know, those of you who don't know my story, I'll give you a little background. I was in education for 20 years, and then 5 years ago, I decided, because I had moved up the ranks pretty quickly in education. So I was a teacher for just 4 years. I was an administrator for 10, 11-ish. And then my last 5 years, I was a technology supervisor of Acadia Power School Board. And when I got to 20 years, realized that the only next step in order to increase my salary, because as you know, educators, in whatever realm you are in the education world, listen, it's not a job to make money at all, and you cap. And the little raises that they give each year in the education system are superseded by inflation, insurance, all the things. So the little raise that educators get each year is pennies. And anyway, so at around probably 18-ish years, I thought about moving up in the ranks and realized at 20 that it just wasn't going to happen. And so I started looking for something else to do. Retired at 20 and a half years in education, got into real estate. But it's so crazy because even in education, until the last 5 years when I was a supervisor, all those other years, whatever position I was in, I absolutely loved my job. I loved being in the schools. I loved working with the teachers and the kids and the administrators and all the people. I absolutely loved it until I moved to the school board office the last 5 years. I despised my life. But prior to that, even as much as I loved my job, I looked forward to Fridays. People just generally look forward to Fridays. It's more low key. It's kind of winding down for the weekend. And I'm sure you'll realize when you call businesses, just generally Friday for people is just a day to unwind and get ready for the weekend. And in general, I find people are just more lackadaisical on Fridays, okay? This is the difference in real estate. I am self-contracted, and anybody that's self-contracted knows this. We literally could work 24/7. We could work 24/7. And so I quickly realized when I got into real estate that I determined my hours, and if I didn't set boundaries, I could literally get calls 24/7. I could get text messages, I could get messages on Facebook, I can get all the things. And I quickly realized about myself that I love mornings, I love during the day, but probably around 7 or 7:30, I just mentally cannot think another second because I've probably been up since about 4:45 a.m. So I wake up usually in the morning before 5. I get my day started. Listen, I probably on lots of days get more done between 5:30 a.m. and 1 p.m. than some people get done in a whole day. Because I'm just very diligent, very thorough, very focused in the morning. But as the afternoon and night comes along, I'm pretty much done. But on Fridays, it's really just another day, right? So if you're self-contracted, you know this, that you live by the calendar. We get to choose, if we're self-contracted, what goes on that calendar, what doesn't go on that calendar. And as a real estate agent, very flexible schedule. There are very few things that I have to do that I'm forced to do, except for follow all the guidelines and the rules and the bylaws of being a real estate agent, right? Like, so for example, yesterday I sat in a mandatory continuing education class from 9 to 1. No, it's mandatory. So each year real estate agents must complete 12 hours of continuing ed. But 4 of those hours are mandated and are chosen by the Louisiana Real Estate Association. The Louisiana Real Estate Commission decides what is the mandatory topic of that year. And so that's something that I had to attend. Now, I didn't have to go yesterday to Lafayette. It's offered all year long. It's offered via Zoom. It's offered in different locations. But I had to go to that training, right? But as a real estate agent, there are very few things that I must do. So I have a very flexible schedule. So for me, Friday is just like any other day of the week. I don't look forward to Fridays per se. I don't look forward to Saturdays. I absolutely love real estate. So for me, I choose to not work on Sundays. Every once in a while, if it's an emergency, like for example, a couple of months ago lived out of state, and they were coming down on a Sunday to spend time that whole day looking for houses, and that was the only day that they were available. So that Sunday I took off. We looked at 6 houses. They picked a house. We went into contract. They bought the house, and that happened. But for the most part, Sunday, the day that's for family and for faith and for just resetting and getting ready for the next week, Sunday is the day that I look forward to the most out of the week. Although every other week, every other day, because I absolutely live and breathe and love real estate, for me every day is pretty much the same. So I wouldn't say I look forward to Fridays, but I know if you're in a job, you're in a position, you're in something that you are absolutely on Monday dreading going to work, or counting the days every week to get to Friday if you have off on the weekend. Listen, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Life is too short. We get one. That's all we get. But if we live it right, one's enough. So if you are in a job and every single week you're looking forward to Friday because it's almost the weekend, you have off, and you don't really like the rest of the week, but you love people, you love problem solving, you're self-motivated, you're a self-starter, and you're a quick learner, listen, I'd love to have a conversation with you, because I guarantee you, if you get into real estate and you follow under me, you will not look forward to Fridays. You will look forward to every day that you're able to help someone with something real estate related. At least I do. I absolutely live, breathe, love everything real estate. I love helping people meet their goals, whether it's buying, selling, whatever the case may be. So Friday for me is just another exciting day in real estate. I have appointments all day. Probably 85% of them are real estate related, so I'm excited. So be on the lookout if you're a buyer. I have quite a few sellers right now with a list of to-dos preparing their homes to hit the market. Remember, I always say, before the photographer goes out to your house to take the pictures, you must be super, super, super proud of your house and your property and everything that's going to be shown in pictures, right? And so then when it hits the market, it's not going to stay on the market long. It's going to go into contract. You're going to get way more money than you ever dreamed possible. That's a guarantee. And remember this, you don't pay me anything until the closing table. It comes off the proceeds. Nothing up front. Remember this, there are no stupid questions. If you have a question at all, anything real estate related, I'd love to have a conversation with you. And remember, if you're a future seller, there are never enough homes for sale, as we have buyers pre-approved or cash buyers prepared to buy. There are not enough houses to choose from. So I get this question all the time. Is it a great time to be a seller? Absolutely, yes, it is, and I'd love to help you get it sold. Y'all reach out. Y'all have an amazing Friday and a great weekend, and y'all take care.